Perfect. Hey guys, I'm Tiffany Harlick, and I am back with Free Tarot Friday. Thank you for your patience. Last week I had some melanoma removed, and it hurt really bad, and I was really swollen, more than I anticipated. So I was not shuffling. I was under a lot of ice and Advil and extra vitamin C and mushrooms, right? So let's see if we can get back into it and just kind of sink into that space of unconditional love and infinite wisdom where all things are possible. Just reaching out to connect with spirit from my heart to yours. And just we're getting some entertainment, some fun reads for the weekend for each of the signs in the zodiac. So if you're new here, we start at Aries and we go all the way through Pisces. That way everybody gets a reading and gets a little bit of feeling seen, from the unseen world. So let's see what Spirit has for us. Let's just clear the deck for Aries. Clearing the deck for Aries and seeing what information would be useful for our Aries friends. All right. So, it looks like we've got the Ace of Coins reversed. It looks like there's some starting and stopping going on with the finances. It's like one step forward, two steps back. Like, I want to be in this new situation, so I'm going forward with it, but it's costing a little more than I thought, or, the finances aren't lining up, or there's a date or a deadline or a delay of some kind. Don't worry about it, because your secret power, your secret weapon, I should say, Aries, over the weekend is going to be temperance. It's going to be reserving energy or conserving energy. So this is about holding back somewhat. Aries, people with Aries sun are usually great about being spontaneous and going along for the adventure and jumping in the car and saying yes to the next thing. But really, this is about not doing that this weekend. So this is about holding back, conserving your energy, moderation in all things, right? We have the High Priestess card upside down. And so to me, I think that if you're not second guessing yourself, maybe you should, okay? It just feels like you're a little bit unplugged from your intuition. And I feel called to tell you to hold your horses, basically, Aries, okay? All right, so maybe that'll help some people. You never know. I get all kinds of messages from you guys that these readings, what they mean for your lives, and that's why I keep doing them. So hopefully that helps some Aries out there. Aries Sun, Aries Moon, Aries Rising. Let's clear the deck for our Taurus friends. Anybody with Taurus? Let's just see what the cards have to say for our Taurus friends. All right, that one fell out. We'll take a look at it. It was a Two of Wands reversed. I know you're dying to know. So let's clear for our Taurus friends. All right, clearing for Taurus. Uh-oh. Taurus, this looks not fun. So we've got the Two of Wands here reversed. And so this can be when you're kind of forced into a corner or feeling stuck in a situation or feeling like it's hard to go forward with the options that are in front of you, or that there's too much going on and you can't quite concentrate because it's like this quagmire of energy going all over the place. And it does feel a little bit brokenhearted. So this might be related or it might not. This is what jumped out, and this is the actual reading. So we get we get the two worst cards, right? We get the Three of Swords followed by the Knight of Cups, and then the Seven of Swords. And so I just feel like somebody is, no, thank you, that somebody is hurting you, or you're giving your power away, or something feels a little bit stolen or deprived or cheated from, or you know what I mean? Like, this just doesn't feel super good. So I'm going to say we're going to use this as an omen, a warning to be very careful who you spend your time with this weekend, to be very careful where you put your energy, to be very careful with your boundaries. You know what I mean? Checking your passwords, being careful who you share information with, because it looks like it's like backstabby kind of energy. And because I also acknowledge that there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving pieces in your life, we just want to start to be aware. Are we hanging out with the right kind of crowd? Is there something that we would benefit from by cutting out of our lives, like the sadness? This could be going through growing pains. This could be just letting go of upsetting part of your life and being okay in the limbo. All right, so we're in limbo, Taurus. I hope that's useful to some of you. Definitely not the cards I want to get for you, so I'm sorry, but you know what? It's okay. It's like if we know what's coming, we can change it. The observer affects the observed. The observer affects the experiment. So hearing that might change your whole weekend entirely, you know? And it might give you a little bit of a wake-up call, right? It might give you a little bit of peace of mind knowing I do want to conserve my energy and choose to be around the people that choose to be with me. Shuffling for our Gemini friends, just clearing the deck for Gemini. Ooh, the World card fell out. It was reversed. I'll leave it reversed. It's still positive if it's reversed. So Gemini, I know that in some way you're really contemplating and reflecting on your life journey, your life path. And you might be feeling like you're at a closing point, like you're ending a chapter and that a new chapter is beginning for you. So all right, fine. More jumping up. You actually have a lot of options, and to you, that might be kind of bogging you down a little bit. So I'm going to say if you have too many options, if you're at a place in your life where you really don't know which direction to take, because I know you want to go forward, you're just not sure which one to go forward with, right? I'm going to say, look, you are working on your life's greatest work, and it does feel like you have put too much energy in a direction that you don't have to keep putting that much energy into. It's like I definitely feel like you have completed a karmic cycle, whether it's like at work, like you're done with a work cycle and now you're ready to focus on family, whether you're done with a family cycle and now you're ready to focus on work. It's that type of a thing. It's like you've graduated from college and there's too many options because you're so good at everything, right? So just keep going. Just keep going forward with awareness. Just observe what's happening this weekend. And, do I feel drained or do I feel excited? And just use your own emotional intelligence system to help you make a decision for yourself. Okay. Moving into Cancer. Clearing the deck for Cancer. Hi, Deborah. Good to see you, Taurus. All right. Clearing for Cancer. What do our Cancer friends need to hear for the weekend ahead? Justice card and Seven of Coins reversed. My other friend Deborah, she says when she sees the Justice card, there's usually like legal documents, paperwork, right? And we interpret it a little bit differently, but I'm going to throw that out there for you, Cancer, that the Justice card is reversed, all right? So it can be like an unfair deal. It could be that we haven't done our legal paperwork. It can feel like things are just a little bit muddy or murky in the department of making sure everything's clear and fair, right? It doesn't feel clear and fair is what I'm going to say about that. The Justice card is also about the karma police and not having to jump into the realm of people pleasing. Just let them kind of have their own human experience so that you're not managing expectations, right? The Justice card has that bar in it with the devil and the angel. You do get the devil later, sorry. But the idea is that something feels unbalanced, and so we want to balance it out a little bit. We just don't want to interfere with other people's karma, and we want to keep our documents clean. We got the Seven of Coins reversed, so I know that you're working on becoming a woman of your own making. I know that you're working on patience, and that you might be a little bit out of patience right now, which can make you feel irritable, restless, and discontent, especially with this Devil card reversed. And so whatever you've been chewing on, what's going to help you get things back in balance and fair and just is going to be to get it out of your head and onto paper. So anything that's been keeping you up at night, anything that's been bothering you, even if it feels like it's going to take more time than necessary, just stop what you're doing so that you can have an awesome weekend, so that it doesn't have to stay stuck up here and going in circles, and just write a list, everything that's bugging you right now, and then we're going to find a way to tackle that. It doesn't mean you're going to tackle it all this weekend. It just means that that's how we're going to get off the crazy train that seems to be set up here. Okay, moving into Leo, I do want to mention, guys, that if you enjoy these free readings, I do very much appreciate your virtual tips. I accept Venmo at Tiffany-Harlick, and there's a link for PayPal. It helps me pay for all the things I need to pay for on these platforms. I have monthly fees for the newsletter, of course, for the podcast, and I really do appreciate when if they're useful to you and you can throw a couple dollars in the tip jar, then great. And if not, please just hold the door open for somebody and pay it forward with your own good karmic activities, right? All right, let's clear the deck for Leo. A little bit more housekeeping. I'm going to be in Waco on this Sunday with my colleague April, and we are going to be doing astrology and tarot readings at a metaphysical fair, a holistic fair. There's going to be outside and safe and fun. So if you're in Waco this weekend, I would love to meet you in person. Please come introduce yourself. It's at Bosque Square. I'm not sure how to say that. Sorry, I'm not from there. And we'll be there from noon to 6. All right, now Leo. Let's clear the deck for Leo. Let's get serious and focus in on Leo. All right, what do our Leos need to hear? All right, Leo, looks like interesting. All right, we've got some forward momentum. You know, things are going pretty well for you. Like you're in action. Some big news has just happened. It seems dependent on a marriage partner, though. It seems dependent on, it's almost like things are going really well, but there's some strings attached, okay? I'm just throwing that out there. That may or may not be true. Take what you want and leave the rest. There might be some strings attached. I do think that this new endeavor is going to take a lot out of you. So pace yourself, Leo. Pace yourself and be kind. Be humble. Be patient. Be persistent. Persevere. You love doing that, right? So that's my best advice for you, because I know that this new endeavor, it just feels like a lot, you know, it just feels like a lot, and you are excited about it, and it is positive, and it is going to require you to tap into your greatest inner strength. It does feel like strings are attached. It doesn't mean it's bad. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it does not, that we don't have, nothing's bad or good until we put our own judgment on it. So let's make it good, you know, for now. Or let's take the middle road of peace. All right, clearing for, who's after Leo? Virgo. Let's clear for our Virgos. So many things jumping out. Chariot, right? About forward momentum, moving forward, sometimes getting a new car. This is also about trusting your primal instincts. This is about horse whispering. This isn't about forcing your way through life. It's about finding a partner, you know, finding a partnership, finding somebody who's invested in the same things, finding somebody that is mutually ready to go down this path together. This is like when you've got pets or animals that you're working with. This is when the dog wants to come because you say come, not because you force them to, or trick them with a treat, or jerk them back with a leash. This is like true companionship, true respect, you know what I mean? And maybe it's with people, maybe it's with your workplace, I'm not really sure, but I do know that if you don't lean into that there's going to be a lot of regret and grief, that it's not going to go well, and it's almost like just be careful who you're interacting with, because you're training them. You know, you teach people how to treat you. Yeah, and it seems like you are kind of overbooked, overworked, and just feeling some defeat, or like things are too much right now. Let's back up and take full responsibility for things feeling too much right now for us. Where did we set the ball rolling? Where have we allowed ourselves to be overworked? Where have we allowed ourselves to be in conversations with people that have no boundaries? And just kind of clean it up a little bit and take responsibility. That way nobody's at fault out there, and they can't take your power away, Virgo. You got this, okay? You got this. This is a warning that you're doing too much, so be careful. You've been there before. You know what it's like when you get burned out. It's not pretty to see the Virgos in the weeds, right? All right, let's clear for Libra. Whew. First day back at work, guys. How am I doing? Give me some feedback. All right, clearing the deck for Libra. Okay, fine. I'll let them come out. There were 3 that fell out. We've got the Page of Wands reversed, the Emperor, and the Lover's card. Okay, so this is like your work wife or your work husband, or somebody that is very integral to your business. This is your admin person. This is your boss. This is your work buddy. But it just feels like you might be up to no good with them. You know what I mean? It feels like something is not going so well financially. So I want you to clear up all financial expectations at work and at home. You know what I mean? So if there's a miscommunication or a misfire, or somebody's overspent on something, or You gave somebody the credit card for concrete and they bought tires. You know what I mean? That needs to be cleaned up. So just being really careful about that, both at work and in your partnership. All right, Libra, cleaning up our own financial integrity, expectations, and commitments. All right. Let's clear the deck for Scorpio. Let's see what our Scorpios need to hear, including myself. Just asking Spirit to set aside what I think I know, what's going on in my personal life, so that I can have a clear message for all the Scorpios watching. Clearing the deck for Scorp. Okay. Chariot. Same thing as Virgo. 3 of Wands. And still you yearn. And the Strength card. All right. 3 of Swords. Broken heart card. All right. So Scorpio, there's some grief there. There's some grief around the journey you've been going on. You know, there's some grief around the path that you've been going on. And I feel like you don't have that partnership that the Chariot has with his swans. You know what I mean? You guys aren't going down the road of life together, and there's some grief over that, you know, some significant grief over that. And so at some point, like, you have to cut the swans loose and retrain new swans, or at some point you got to have a deeper understanding of, you know, where you're going and where they're going. That's what I'm going to say about that. And I do think that there's not only grief, but a lack of acceptance. You know what I mean? There's this lack of acceptance that you guys are either on different pages, or there's a lack of acceptance about what you're doing with your life and what you'd rather be doing with your life, right? There's a Strength card here. And so today, Scorpio, let this be your wake-up call. Get on board with what you want to be doing, and the right people are going to follow. The right people are not necessarily going to follow, but they're going to work with you cohesively together on mutual goals. All right. So tough message to deliver, but Scorpios are tough. You can take it. You know what to do, Scorpio. You were born wise. All of you were born wise, and I'm just here for fun. Okay. All right. Let's clear the deck for Sagittarius. Just clearing the deck for all of our Sagittarius friends, knowing that everybody has unique lives, that everybody has free will and choices, and that, again, the observer affects the observed. So let's clear for Sagittarius. See if we can get a clear message for all the Sages watching. Give them some practical advice and guidance that helps them feel seen by the unseen world. Okay. All right. Sag, similarly difficult message. You know, this is like the card that we stopped fighting. We stopped fighting and we didn't get what we want, and we're depressed about it, and it feels like unfair. It also feels like we got money going out the window, that things are all of a sudden more expensive than we had in mind, that there was money in the banking account when we said yes to all of these things, but now there's not somehow. So we're running low. So there's a message of financial integrity and grief going on. There's a message of almost too many options. Again, this idea of choose your own adventure, but which one, right? The death card is reversed, you know, so there's something has ended, and you have the opportunity to wake up in a new day, a new life, practice something totally new and different. Be born again, you know what I mean? Be the new man, so to speak. Be baptized. Like, I'm using spiritual words not because it's Easter, but because it's the death card, and that's kind of what happens. It's like, you know, over, new, right? All right. And I know that it's been really hard, that you're carrying a lot of weight, and both physically, mentally, emotionally, that it feels like life's been really heavy, and, you know, it's only heavy if you pick it up. So what can you put down? Where can you be more generous? Where do you need to be more modest? You know what I mean? Where do you need to be more conservative with what you're doing, thinking, speaking? This is a card of moderation in all things. And so sometimes Sagittarius, that ability to go overboard and with fun, in a fun way, on a spiritual journey, is not always what's best for us, right? So this is a card of all things in moderation. Starting over, being really clear with what you're picking this time, financial responsibility, and overcoming grief is what I'm going to say. Overcoming grief, stopped fighting, putting down the swords, the 5 of Swords, right? All right, let's clear for 10. Capricorn. Let's clear for Capricorn. clear for Capricorn. And see what our Capricorn friends need to hear for the weekend. Let me get another good shuffle in here. Clear for Capricorn. All right. Whew, Capricorn. Something steamy's going on. I think somebody wants you and you don't want them back. You know what I mean? Or you want somebody and they don't want you back. You know, something steamy's going on here. You're really just, honestly, you're trying to get your bearings. You're trying to get your life going in your own direction, and you're emotional about it. But it's be careful, because if you're sharing and you're connecting on that intimate level with somebody, they're getting super attracted to you, and you're like, what, I'm just doing my thing over here, don't like read into it. But they're reading into it, you know what I mean? Or vice versa, right? That could be happening to you, or you could be the one doing it. But the idea here is, I don't think everybody feels the same way for each other, okay? Didn't intend for that to be a love reading. I know some Capricorns are happily married. I know some are happily single. Let me just get a card of clarification for all Capricorns here watching. Just a card of clarification for their weekend ahead. Anybody just watching the Wise Guys channel? So maybe some alone time, right? Maybe unplug, detach, pull back just a little bit, reset the boundaries, reset the healthy communication, so that people aren't expecting like to be able to just be part of your life and have you nurture them and treat them like family, only to kind of tell them like, actually, I don't really feel that way. You know, so just make sure that you're not using people, and that you're not being used, you know? And so sometimes some alone time can help you see that better. All right, let's clear the deck for Aquarius. Clearing the deck for Aquarius nations. What do our Aquarius friends need to hear for their weekend ahead? Being the Fool, all right. So let's clear the deck for Aquarius. Fool card is one of my favorite. So here again, we get a similar message coming through. So not only do we have the Fool card, but we've got Temperance again, we've got Death card reversed, and we've got the Seven of Cups. So there's a lot of options. There's a lot of ways you could play this game. Like, life has definitely dealt you something. And, you know, the best way to approach it is going to be through childlike wonder, through innocence, through just going with your primal instincts, going with your gut, going with your intuition, even if it doesn't make sense to anybody else. It doesn't have to. It only has to make sense to you, and you have to be doing it because you want to be doing it, not because you should be doing it, because you want to, you know? So getting in touch with what is it that you really, really want. What has life put on your plate that you're like, what do I do about this? You know exactly what to do. So don't let a reader tell you. You decide on your own. Some words to the wise, I guess. Again, all things in moderation. Be modest, be conservative, but just make sure it's what you want to do, and be careful who you share that information with. Something's happening here. There is an ending, and there's a chance for new life. And it's like, what road are you going to take? You know, when is enough, right? What are you going to do different this time? You get a second chance, all right? After Aquarius, we get Pisces. We made it all the way to the end. Ace of Cups fell out. Somebody's in love. Somebody's feeling good. Somebody's feeling like their cup is full. Let's clear the deck for Pisces and see if we can get a clear message for Pisces Nation. Clearing the deck for Pisces. Thanks again for your patience with me, guys. It's been a really tough week in a lot of ways, and it's definitely my first day back here. Okay, the Justice card fell out. I'll leave it. And I'm just trying to tune in and connect with all the Pisces that will be watching this and get some clarity and guidance for you guys. All right, friend. All right. So this is a time of fertility. This is a time of creativity. This is a time when, you know, the spring is happening in nature, but it's also happening in your life right now. Things are renewing. Maybe they're not renewing in the same way. And if this Justice card, like I said earlier, for Cancers, it could be that there's a piece of a legal document, a contract, something that needs to be signed or renewed or updated. It doesn't seem like it's bad. It seems like it's pretty good. It's just like you're being lazy about it. So if you were a bartender and you didn't get your TABC license renewed because COVID, and your bar's opening back up and you don't feel like getting it, get it, okay? Get all of your T's crossed and I's dotted. Stay on top of what you need to stay on top of. Renew your policies. I don't know if this has to do with health insurance. I don't know if it has to do with rental agreements. I don't know if it has to do with agreements between spouses or partners or jobs, but the idea is here is to go ahead and don't slack in that department. I do see this card of fertility, so if you're not trying to get pregnant, be very, very careful. This could be new life. It could also be a project that is in a gestation period of 9 months, something that you're starting, right? Something that you're getting back into. It's going to require a lot more strength and courage and physical, like strength and emotional from you than you realized. So just be careful with what you're getting into. Go slowly and nobody will get hurt. All right. It doesn't say don't do it. Just say, is this whatever you're getting into is going to change you and those around you dramatically. And you know, you're powerful in how you affect your tribe, Pisces. All right. What you say, what you feel, what you think matters. And just try to not get too overwhelmed with the sadness of those involved, so that you can keep your cup full. Put your your oxygen mask on first, so that you can stay healthy, centered, and emotionally clear through all of the fun, exciting changes that life is bringing you this Ostara season, this Easter season, right? All right, guys, that's it. So thank you again. If you enjoyed this, I really, really appreciate a virtual tip either through Venmo at Tiffany-Harlick, Harelijk, or through PayPal. And there's a link in the description of the video. And until next Friday, where can you find me? At wiseskiescollective.com. I am back. I'm doing readings. I do still have time next week and the following week, so if you're looking for a session of tarot or mediumship or astrology with me, I'm there. Also, April is doing Akashic Records and Tarot. Also, Jennifer is doing a 9-star key. She's who taught our dream interpretation course. So we welcome you to the Wise Skies community. We hope you find us on all the social media accounts. It was a little slow last week. I was a little bit down, but I'm excited. I'm feeling the blue bonnets. I'm feeling the spring flowers, and I'm so happy to spend Friday lunch with you guys. So until we can work together again, namaste, and thank you so much for choosing the Wise Skies channel. I know you have tons of, there's a sea of people you could choose from. So it means a lot to me that you choose to spend time with us. So namaste.